All right, good evening, everybody. We've got for a second. We've got a special guest with us tonight. As you know, Phil and Jen Mango, and this is our Monday night training. We're very excited to have, I hate to use the word because it's not one of my favorite words, but I use it anyway. We have a Manbassador with us, Mr. Dale Mayo, that we're going to introduce in a moment. And ask all sorts of questions and get a good guy's perspective about this Plexus journey. Before we do that, any announcements that you want to share?
Yeah, I just want to remind those of you that are on, and probably while we have a little bit of a low attendance right now, is I know everybody's still working on getting those ambassadors and customers in with the incentive that's going through now, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central. So Phil always gets on to me about knowing what time that is. Make sure you know what time zone you're in so you don't miss it and you don't mislead your ambassadors and your customers. We want to make sure we get every one of those in. Most of the issues that we're seeing, you guys, are server related. So what's a couple of things that they need to do to make sure that they're getting their orders in or double checking before they call in?
Yes, so one of the things that you might want to do that we had success with and our teams had success with is using Chrome as a browser and actually do what you can to steer away from. There we go.
I couldn't remember if we had said you were going to order them.
There you go.
Trila,
mute.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, we're good.
Is to use a Chrome browser or use a device that's not Apple associated. So not saying it won't work if you've got an Apple device. However, when comparing the two, since we have multiple devices at home, Chrome worked really quickly and easily. Apple, Safari, not so much.
And if you're wanting to access your pay portal is unfortunately not showing up with a Safari.
At least it wasn't with us this morning.
Well, I've heard from a couple of other people. So just stay patient and have a great attitude. Do as much as you can on the customer service end of things for the people that you're working with so that you can take the frustration and you can deal with the frustration. Don't allow your customer or your ambassador to deal with that if at all possible. We have our team Christmas party for those of you who are local will be December 15th at 7 p.m. at our house. Appetizers and desserts. There was an event listing that went out today, and a $15 gift exchange. Everybody, that's going to be backed by popular demand. We had lots of fun with that.
And if you're not local, do something with your team.
Yes.
Set something up. Make it easy. Make it fun. Get together.
Even if it's just a couple of you, go to lunch, do something. Make sure that you celebrate together the holidays.
Okay. Cool. All right, so without further ado, we want to introduce our special speaker tonight, and we'll do a little Q&A. I'll certainly ask him some questions that I've been thinking about. But Dale Mayo spoke at convention this year in Las Vegas and gave a good presentation about getting those fence sitters off the fence and talking about being a guy in Plexus. He's a gold ambassador, I believe, still a gold ambassador. Maybe he's moving on up, I'm sure. Along with his wife. And so I know she's doing the driving. He's going to do the heavy lifting and talking. So without further ado, I'm going to unmute and welcome Dale to the program. Hi, Dale.
Hi. Thanks, Phil. Jennifer, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to your team here. I am a temporary gold ambassador. I just checked today and just a little shy of senior gold again, but you know how that is. You just keep pushing on, keep pressing on. So it's going to happen. I know that. So a little bit about myself. I got involved in this business like a lot of men because my wife did. She asked me, knowing that I had suffered from chronic joint discomfort, she asked me to try the product called Ease. And I had tried everything under the sun to help my discomfort. So trying something else wasn't no big deal for me. So she said, hey, I want you to try this. So I started taking 6 tablets a day. I took 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 2 in the evening. And I did that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And when I say chronic pain, chronic discomfort, I would get up in the morning and I would sit on the side of the bed and psych myself up to just stand up because it hurt so bad. And So I would stand up, I'd stretch my hips, stretch my knees, and I would psych myself up for the first 5 steps of the day, because those were the worst 5 steps of the day for me. So that's where I was at discomfort wise. And when I woke up Thursday morning after taking 6 tablets of Ease a day for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, my joint discomfort was completely gone. And instead of sitting on the side of the bed and waiting to get ready to get out of bed, I jumped right up bed and had a jump in my step. And I yelled downstairs to my wife, Janie, and I said, Janie, what is this stuff? And she said, why? And I said, all my joint discomfort is gone. Well, right away, the light went off in my head about these products, okay? And my wife and I have been involved in network marketing before, and I didn't want to have nothing to do with this business. I didn't want to do another one because I had lost my dream. I'd lost my vision and my why inside of Dale. So I didn't want to have anything to do with it, but I told her, I said, don't you ever let me run out of that Ease. That stuff's fantastic. So continued on from there, and I started taking the triplex. And like a lot of people, my sleep got better. I felt more energy. I had better bowel movements. Men don't talk about that, but I was a 1 bowel movement a day guy for 55 years. I thought that was the norm. I get on the triplex, and now I go at least 2 times a day, and most of the time it's 3 and 4 times a day. So that right there, guys, made me feel a whole lot better. And I'm a workout buff. I like to stay in shape and work out. So in the gym, I noticed at about the 6th month, I noticed my strength getting more and more. And at 55 years old, guys, that doesn't just happen. So I started documenting it, and I was looking at it real close, and I was 10% stronger after 6 months on the triplex. So 2 months later at month 8, 12% stronger at month 6. And month 8, I was 15% stronger. So I tell all the people that are working out, if you're in your, what I call middle age, and you're still working out, you need to be on the triplex because it will help your workouts. It'll help your recovery. And guys, at this time, I'm working 60 to 80 hours a week. So I don't know if any of you have seen my poster lately, but I'm getting ready to retire this Thursday. This coming Thursday is my last day on the job. So I am super excited about that. And I can't wait to see how much stronger I get being rested and not having to work 68 hours a week. Anyway, back to my story. So now I'm about 8 months in. And, like I said, I'm getting stronger. I'm sleeping better. I still don't want to have nothing to do with this business, guys. Okay. So, and being a supportive husband like I am, January come around, just like, here we are right after Thanksgiving. So it was about this time my wife said, hey, I want you to go to Super Saturday with me. And I said, okay, I'll go. Like a supportive husband, I'll support you, no problem. So I go to Super Saturday. Guys, if you don't know Emily Roberts, or if you do, she's a little bit of a spitfire. She's a little bit fired up. And at the time, she was 9 months pregnant. When I say that, she even said before the meeting in St. Louis, she said, if I start having labor pains, I might have to rush off here and have this baby. Sorry about that. That's how pregnant she was. Well, I'm sitting in the second row to the left of the stage, and she starts telling her story. She said, I sat right there last year, and she pointed right at me. And I looked at my wife, and I said, did you tell her that I didn't have anybody with me? Because she said, I sat right there last year all by myself. And she said, here I am a year later as a Sapphire Ambassador. And guys, the light switch went on inside of Dale. I can't explain it to people. I just know it was like somebody reached in my heart and turned the light switch back on my dream. And I looked over at my wife and I said, if Emily Roberts can do this, Dale can do this. Okay. So I went home. We went home. We had a vacation scheduled right after that. We went to Florida, and I've been in it, taking these products now for 8 or 9 months, and I had never looked at the Complan. Now, guys, I said we'd been involved in, network marketing before. I had looked at 28 different comp plans because I'm a numbers guy. And people would say, I thought I was involved in the best network marketing there was before. And so sitting down there around the pool in Florida, I started looking at this comp plan, and I kept telling her, hey, did you see this? You can make this much money. I told her, I said, this is the best comp plan, bar none, guys. It is. And if you compare this over 40% of the money is paid back to us as ambassadors, guys. That's unheard of in network marketing. Okay. That's a phenomenal thing. So get back from vacation. I hit the ground running. I went silver in 4 days. I went gold in like 90 days, 120 days, and just been building from there. And I tell people that, you know, that you will never hear Dale say that men are at a disadvantage in this business. And I'm kind of hard on the men. So if you're watching this and you're a man, I'm going to apologize up front, because the women are just kicking our butt in this business, guys. They really are. And the only reason is because they share more. They talk about it more than we do. And so, you know, when my upline diamond, Megan Moore, which is my wife's sponsor, says, Dale, all you got to do is post on Facebook, contact people, follow up. Post on Facebook, contact people, follow up. Guys, we make it a whole lot more complicated than what it really is. But those three things right there is all you have to do. If you do them consistently, guys, post on Facebook, contact, and follow up. And do a Zoom like this once a week, or do some kind of training, do some kind of personal, you know, development for yourself, and you will build this business. Because the only way you won't make it is if you quit. Okay, I'm a big believer in the products. I use all the products. Somebody asked me, I got them. I don't know if you're in the man cave, Phil, but I'm in the man cave. And one of the guys messaged me and said, hey, Dale, I said, what products are you taking? And so I listed them all. Well, I listed all the products except the breast check kit. And the guy was like, you take all them products? I said, I believe. That was my answer. I believe. I really do. That's how much I believe in these products, guys. Every one of them has helped me in one way or another. So I take them all. So you got to be a product of the product, number one. Okay. Number two, anybody can do this business, guys. It doesn't matter if you're big, little, short, round, in between, black, yellow, red, doesn't matter. Anybody can do it, guys, and we can. And you can do it in the nooks and crannies of your life. And that's what I liked about this business. Working 60 to 8 hours a week, I didn't have time. I didn't have the 2 or 3 hour blocks of time that some people had to build this business. So, you know, I made the joke about sitting on a toilet, you know, doing your IPAs while you're doing your business, but you can do that, guy. I mean, you can take 20 to 30 minutes, and if you're consistent day in and day out, and I've done this, guys, you can do 3 to 5 contacts and follow-ups in 20 to 30 minutes on your phone. And when you're stressed for time, you can do it. And anybody can find 15 to 30 minutes a day. I'm sorry, but you can. You know, I always say, well, everybody's got 168 hours a week. You can either spend it or you can invest it. It's your choice. Now, your work and your job, that's something that's a given. You have to give those hours to that job. But what do you do with the rest of it? Well, most of us sleep 6 to 8 hours a day. But if let's just say you're on the upper end of the 80 hours per week and you're sleeping in 40 hours a week, I'm going to cut it a little short. That's 120. If you have an hour commute 5 days a week, that's 125 hours. There's 168 hours in a week, guys. If you break it down like that and you take your time slots, whatever it might be, do this business. It doesn't matter. Like I said, those three things right there will get you going. And just be consistent. Contact people, post on Facebook, follow up. Contact people, post on Facebook, follow up, guys. We make it a whole lot more complicated, okay? And I love this business. I love what it's done for my wife and I. You know, like he said at the beginning here, I'm a gold, getting ready to go senior gold. My wife's already senior gold, getting go ruby. So I call that double dipping, just like Phil and Jennifer are doing. And if you don't know what that means by double dipping, get with Phil and Jennifer, and they'll tell you. Because you can, you can go emerald, but you can both go emerald.
That's right.
You can get 2 incomes for one.
That's right. A couple questions, and I'm going to open it up to others. And I really appreciate you sharing. I was writing a lot of notes here feverishly. So you mentioned you were a skeptical husband, and your wife started first.
Yeah.
You took the products, and that sounds like it convinced you. But now that you're a year plus, you're out of the skepticism mode. You've been on stage. You're having success. You believe in this wholeheartedly. What would you tell some of the women who are watching tonight who have skeptical significant others and their business is potentially being held back by that significant other that doesn't support them 100%? What would you tell them to be able to tell their significant others so that they can have the support at home that your wife enjoys?
Do it. Just be, number one, be a product of the products, gals. If you're a product of the products, your husband's going to see what they do. And she knew that supplements were no big deal for me. Now, there are people out there that sometimes supplements are a big deal for them. It wasn't for me, and she knew that. And she knew what my need was, so she filled that need. So I would tell all the women watching this tonight that if you've got a skeptical husband and he has a health need in some way or another, we've got a product that will fill that. So, somehow, some way, you have to try to get it, at least to try it. But most husbands will, at least the ones that I've seen, if the wife has been consistent for, fill in the blank. It's different for everybody. I didn't lose a pound for 8 months, and I lost 12 pounds in my 9th month. So, what if I'd have quit at the 8th month because I didn't lose any weight? I wasn't doing it for weight loss. That just happened. So, everybody is different as far as that goes, but the husbands that have a need, I believe if the wife is consistent and showing him, hey, these products are working for me, I think they'll work for you, that he will do it.
Thanks, Dale. So something else you mentioned, and I want you to touch on a little bit more, is that you hear guys can't be successful in Plexus. This is a women-dominated business, and there are no guys who are at the top unless their wives really did all the work for them. So speak to that for a minute, and tell me how you dispel that common belief.
Well, I will never say that I am disadvantaged in this business for a man, for the very reason that this is the benefits are just as much for me and for you, Phil, as they are for you, Jennifer, and my wife, Janie. What I do personally is I ask people about their health, and if they have a need, I try to fill it, or I go at it with the business side of it, because I don't know a man out there that's not trying to retire early. Okay. And if I can, here I am getting ready to retire Thursday this week. Okay. Not totally because of Plexus, but Plexus has played a big part in that, so that I could, I was planning on retiring this time next year anyway. So, due to circumstances and that, it's come about a year early. But if people will just look at, and for me anyway, for a man, I don't consider, you'll never hear me call myself a man ambassador. I'm an ambassador just like my wife is. Okay. I just believe the women talk about it more. So I've made a point and trying to be more consistent, just like all the women are on Facebook. Now, men don't do Facebook, guys. I mean, I can tell you that. Women, men don't do Facebook. So I've tried to be consistent in Facebook. I've tried to be consistent in reaching out and following up. And if I duplicate what my upline diamond has done, I've seen the benefits of it. So, I had a cousin of mine when I first started posting on Facebook. He messaged me and said, "Men do this?" And I said, "Well, yeah, why wouldn't they?" I said, "I want to get healthy and I want to have a business, make some money, and, have time freedom and, fill in the blank." And he just said, "Well, I thought that was a women's business." And I said, "No, it's just like, it's a business like it is for men." But that stigma is there, Phil, as you know as well, I'm sure. But I don't believe I don't believe men are disadvantaged. I actually believe that the market of men is wide open, because just like last year at convention, there's 12,000 people there, give or take, and there was 1,500 men. Do the math. There's 160 diamonds in this business, and only 10 of them are men. So, I'm a diamond, and the points just haven't caught up with.
It's good.
That's for that.
So my question to you, Dale, is for you and Janie, and maybe Janie wants to pipe in, maybe not, I don't know. But how do you guys, how do you guys feel like you work your business together? Like you said, you made a comment, we have definitely trained our team very well, probably not lately, but a lot about double dipping per se as an emerald, and Phil's a senior ruby, very close to emerald. What do you guys see that is the benefit to your business with both other than the obvious benefits of double dipping, but as a couple working your business, and maybe speak to maybe what your strengths are, what Janie's strengths are, and vice versa.
Well, I think any couple that does this business stands out from themselves. You know, just because there's a lot of people that you see, like you said, they've either built that leg for the husband or involuntarily, if you want to call it that way. You know, like I like to ask the diamonds questions. And I was shocked at some of the men that I've talked to that said, well, you know, my wife really built this until Ruby for me. She put everybody under me for me. Okay. I'm not, I'm trying to be nice here. But you know what I'm saying? Janie and I decided when I actually saw it, when that light went on and I knew that this business was legit and the comp plan was great, and because of the success we'd had in some network marketings before, you know, and in marriage, I mean, we complement each other already in marriage. You know, God put us together. God put us together in this business for a reason. And, you know, where I don't like to speak, but for some reason, I end up speaking like this a lot. And that's one of my things that I can do. So I take that and run with it. And Janie is the organizer. She does everything, all the ducks in a row, everything, all the, you know, T's are crossed, I's are dotted. And we complement each other that way. Now, Janie will tell you that I can talk anybody into this business, but I don't like to talk to people. But for some reason, I can talk people about the business and get excited about it. And before you know it, they're jumping in. You know, Janie's, you know, before I got excited about building a business, she was talking to some people. And after I got excited, I would call them, and next thing you know, they're getting in, and she'd say, "There you go, sponsor another one of my people for me."
I've been talking to those people for a year.
You know, so it's if you're a team and you want to build it as a team, I'm sure you guys have done this. We try to strategically place people in our organizations, in our levels 1 through 3, just like, you know, they teach you. You know, we're trying to keep it to where if I'm outgrowing her, she still has her side volume. You know, we're trying to, you know, you have to do it wise as you grow. I'm sure you guys have done the same thing. That way you get the bonuses when you get there. You don't want to get there and not have the side volume.
Right.
So, you know,
Side volume. Yeah.
We're trying to do that. And, you know, so far so good. I'm really excited about not having to spend 60 to 80 hours a week on a job so that I can put more time into this.
Awesome.
So I really appreciate you sharing some good nuggets there. I got like page of notes here. So I want to open it up to our team that's listening in. You listened to Dale here for a few minutes.
Sure.
What questions do you have for Dale and his wife, or his wife? Don't all jump at once. There we go. I think Sherilyn's wanting to unmute. I can tell. There we go.
I don't know that I have a question, but I think we're going to see Dale and probably Janie too on stage next year as a jewel.
Aw.
And there was one other thing I was going to say, and I lost it. Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
I really appreciate and agree with you that we complicate it. You made it so simple. Again, you reminded us. Post on Facebook, contact people, follow up, and it doesn't take as much time. And we let ourselves, this isn't a question, I'm just affirming what you said because I think it's so powerful. We overwhelm ourselves thinking we have to know so much knowledge, we got to figure things out, we got to do whatever, instead of just, and the other really important piece, instead of contacting people, finding out what their health issue is, and like you say, filling it. So I think that's been your success, and it re-energized me in that regard tonight. So thanks. Appreciate it.
Dale brought me back to my original 7-step sales training from 20 years ago that I learned that's still ingrained in my brain of approach, qualify, agree on need, fill the need, close, cement the close. So I'm like, oh, fill the need. I remember that. That was my nickname in sales. My first year in sales was fill the need.
And how smart your wife was. I think that point as well for anyone watching now or even later in the recording, if you are struggling with a spouse or family that is not supportive, fill their need, right? Maybe even this holiday season, give them the gift of Plexus for something specific that they need and support them. And then it's up to them whether or not they take it, whether or not they use it the way they need to. But I think sometimes we miss that too. We hope that people will just assume and take on our passion. What I still think is so funny and amazing is that even finding that the products were so amazing that your past really kept you from really knowing what Plexus was all about from a business opportunity, even as a numbers person. And so I think that's a great reminder to all of us to be intentional in making sure that we are sharing how amazing our comp plan is, because I know for a lot of people that don't like to talk about money or feel like that's getting in other people's business, that we shy away from that. We think, oh, if we just get them excited about the products, they'll buy into it. But if they don't know what they're getting into, and most people have had a negative experience and not made any money with network marketing. So if we don't tell them how amazing our comp plan is, they're not going to jump into the business opportunity, even if they love the products.
That's right. You're exactly right.
Yep.
Exactly right. You know, one thing that I do, or I recommend, I should have said this a while ago when you asked me the question, this just came to me. If you have a skeptical spouse, find posts of the same gender. If it's a guy, find guy posts and show him those posts. Say, hey, Bill, check out what Fred said about what this has done for his pain, or what it's done for his, IBS or Crohn. You can fill in the blank, gut issue, whatever it might be, and let him see that, or let them see that, and go from there. That way you're not pushing it on them, you're just showing them the testimony. So, I do that with my, if I talk to a guy Monday and he tells me he has chronic joint discomfort like I did, I'll go find somebody else's testimony and post it, make sure he sees it without actually, he doesn't know I'm posting it for him, but I'm intentionally posting that for him because I just contacted him a day or so before. And I do that a lot with people that I contact. I got that from the Jewels. I mean, they all do it. I'm sure you do it, Jennifer. You just find something. It's funny to me how during the course of a week, you might talk to 3 or 4 people and they all have that same thing in common. And then the next day you'll see somebody's post and you'll think, oh, there's that post right there. I need to do that. Right. It's really amazing to me how that works, but it does work that way.
It does. It really does. Hurry up and go like and comment on some of their posts and then go post it, right? So,
right.
Whoops, sorry.
Sorry, our lights just went out there.
Any other questions?
Diana,
I'll unmute you, Diana.
Oh, she did it.
I got it.
Good. Okay.
I was trying, but I put my hand up because I wasn't thinking I was going to get it fast enough. So I just have a question for you, Dale, as far as like reaching out to guys. I mean, because I do think that guys tend to view this, like you said, as a business for women. I actually sent something to a former customer who's been talking about signing up as an ambassador, but he's really been dragging his feet. I sent him the link for tonight to see if maybe he'd jump on, or maybe I could share this with him later. But yeah, I just.
And she froze. Okay. Do that again, Diana, because I think you froze. Say that again.
She's frozen again.
Oh.
She keeps freezing.
Okay, so I'm going to say this to the guy that's watching that she sent the recording to, a few days in the future. Stop being such a wuss. Just join, baby. You little chicken man.
Oh, my goodness. Calm down, Phil.
I'm kidding. No, really, join. Okay.
Did you get enough of her question, Dale? You think?
Yeah.
I think as women, we just struggle.
One of the things that I've tried to combat that with was the open market. I say, look, guys, this is this is an equal opportunity business, which it is. There just happens to be less men than women, which makes it a greater opportunity for a man that wants to build a business.
Simple. That's really good. Really good. I like the open market approach.
Well, I think as women, to all the women who are on this call, we need to learn from that too, to be a little bit more assertive and confident in approaching men, or the contacts and the connections and the relationships we already have, that we don't go to the women just necessarily, because I think and we've had conversations on our team before about, that limiting belief that you're intimidated or there would be no way. But what I love, Dale, you said too earlier was, show me a man who's not interested in an additional revenue stream, even if this isn't going to be their main focus. Every man is all about providing for himself or for his family. So
I would, if I was a woman right now, and I had a guy that was a prospect, I would probably say something like, are you really that scared to join? I mean, I thought all guys like to make money, but you might be the first one I ever met that didn't ever want to make money. Wow.
Or be surrounded by women all the time, right?
Yeah, challenge them. Guys always want to step up to a challenge. So that's, if I give any advice at all, women, challenge guys a little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Oh, Dale had something. Go ahead.
One other approach that Janie and I both do this is we'll say, I'll try to, if I see that they're coming on a little strong toward either one of us, we both do this. Then we say, I don't know if you qualify. And what you're doing is you're giving it to them, and then you're taking it back. You know what happens? They're going to take it back from you again. Okay? So, we learned that early on in the business. If you're contacting them and they seem like they really overbearing, yeah, then you take it back and say, well, I don't know if you qualify. Well, what's the qualification? You got to have a why. You can call it a dream. I like using the word dream. Some people don't like that word, but I do. But if a person's dream is big enough, and it will drive them through everything that they have to go through to do this business. So,
yes, sir. Our team is called Dream Makers. So we are on board with that. We're all about making dreams happen.
Someone had a question, and I want to get to it before we wrap up. Who had? Someone? Yes.
Andrea?
Yeah. Go for it.
I just had a comment, actually. I find it very surprising that there aren't a lot of men in the business. I'm new to Plexus, but I think this is a wonderful opportunity for men and women alike.
Yeah.
And, I know men that take supplements, and I never for once took them off my list.
Good.
Awesome.
Good. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't that the beauty of it, right? Like, I didn't know any different, that there's not as many men in this business. So that's great. You go for it, girl. She's rocking it, by the way. She has an amazing testimony and is really taking charge of her business. So it's fun to see.
Any other questions for Dale before we wrap?
I have one if you have a second.
Please.
I was not able to make it to convention, so you probably talked about this there, but you said that you can get anybody to sign up, like your year-long fence sitters. Do you have a go-to phrase or something that you use with those people? Because I have a long list of long-time fence sitters.
That's good. Good question.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, Janie.
Before he answers, one of the things that I'm finding that works with that has been working pretty good with that, is to use the phrase, I'm just curious. Just ask them, say, I'm just curious, what's holding you back? And most of the time, what you think is holding them back isn't what's holding them back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm finding that for me here lately, that's really been working, just to say, I'm just curious, what's holding you back? So that's a little tidbit from me.
The one thing that usually it's an excuse, some form of an excuse. So I'll try to get in a conversation with them, and I'll get on the subject of time, I'll get on the subject of money, and I'll get on the subject of, usually time and money are the two things. So if I say, if I can show you a way that takes very little time, or I can show you a way that you can do this with very little money. And you nod your head as you're talking to them just a little bit. Just shake it just a little. And as you nod your head while you're talking to them, they can't shake their head no, guys. And they're going to say, oh, yeah, okay, if I can show you a way that you could do this in 15 to 20 minutes, if I can show you to only spend $100 a month, you know, $3.70 a day, guys, people throw that away like it's nothing. Mm-hmm. But when you compare that to $120, $120 sounds like a whole lot more. But the $3.70 a day thing, I found out that people say, oh, yeah, I can do that. I spend that much on 2 pops and out of the pop machine. Exactly. People have money and time for what they want. So what you have to do is you have to take those 2 excuses away, because like I said at convention, their excuse is somebody else's reason.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Great stuff.
Good
Great
stuff.
questions. Good stuff.
Thank you, guys. Wow. I just really, really appreciate you taking your time. I know that life is busy for you guys, and for you to take time to sow into our team and countless lives. Know that is not gone unnoticed, and that the Lord will bless you for that in your business as well as in your relationship. Thank you guys, Dream Makers, for being here with us.
Congrats on early.
Yes, congratulations. How exciting.
Thank you.
I think Sherilyn is right. I think we will see you for sure on stage, not just up there sharing your tips, but definitely getting your due reward for both of you guys. And so thank you for sharing. We have a special place in our hearts for couples that work this business, because it is unique, but an amazing, amazing gift. And so thank you for sharing that with us again. Thank you guys, Dream Makers, for being with us. Next week, starting in December, we are super excited because we have a month